Coates's widow, she meant. It seemed to me a strange kind of relief, although I guessed it might help to put a stop to the worst of the bereaved woman's imaginings. Still, the reality was just as bad. Cold salt water, fast currents, sharp rocks. Not the cheeriest thing for a new top cop's first morning on the job, I said. Eastport's new chief of police was supposed to start work today, and amazingly for Ellie and me, we didn't even know his name yet. The moose had been madly busy this summer, and we'd had other things going on too that had kept us hopping. So all we did know was that the new chief had a strong recommendation from our previous one, Bob Arnold. And since Bob had been caring, thoroughly competent, and a good friend besides, we figured that was enough. Ellie rinsed and dried her mixing bowl and utensils, then turned to the big butcher block work table in the center of the kitchen. "All right now," she said determinedly, eyeing the ever-present to-bake list taped to the refrigerator. "What's next on the hit parade?" But then the bell over the shop door rang energetically again, signaling the start of the mid-morning rush. That was when people, even sun-hammered tourists, began feeling that they might just possibly eat a little something. A fudge-frosted brownie topped with a scoop of vanilla, say, or a chocolate cannoli stuffed full of sweetened cream and with cinnamon, cocoa powder, and powdered sugar lightly sprinkled onto the top. You know, something light. "I'll go wait on them," said Ellie. "And how about you run up to the bank meanwhile and get us some change?" I'd have hit the bank earlier, but major construction was underway at my house. See, things going on above. And talking to building contractors always makes me too crazy to be able to count money correctly. "Fine," I said, grabbing the cupcake that Ellie had offered me. The mingled flavors of dark chocolate and cherries hit my brain as I stepped out into the shop area. By the time I reached the counter, my face must have looked like it belonged on a saint being drawn bodily up into heaven. "Ellie'll be out here in just a minute," I began, around a mouthful of frosting, and then I saw who the customer was. "Hi, Jake," said the woman at the counter. "How are you?" "Hi, Lizzie," I managed. She had short, spiky black hair, blood-red nails that matched her vivid lipstick, and smoky dark eye makeup applied skillfully and with a feather-light hand. "I'm fine. How are you?" I added inanely. She was wearing dark blue tailored Bermuda shorts and a black short-sleeved t-shirt whose fit flattered her well-toned arms and shoulders. A badge was on her belt. A holster with a .38 auto nestled in it was on her hip. And she was, I suddenly understood, Eastport's brand new police chief. "Congratulations," I said calmly, just as if her sudden reappearance in Eastport hadn't knocked me for a loop. But it had. My name is Jacobia Tiptree, Jake to my friends. And when I first came to Maine, I thought big crime only happened in big cities, ones like New York. I mean, where back in the bad old days, I'd been money manager for a crew of guys so evil that just knowing them at all was probably a felony. Then when their criminal fortunes went south, and mine were about to, I ran, leaving my husband and his many girlfriends and moving, along with my then 12-year-old son, Sam, 12, going on 20. By that time, he'd already known so much about drugs, he could have started a pharmaceutical company. Into the 200-year-old Eastport house that we still live in today. With 13 rooms, 8 fireplaces, 3 porches, an attic, and a 2-story L, the house was much larger than anything I'd lived in before. For a while, Sam and I rattled around in it like marbles, unused to so much space. But nowadays, the place is so fully inhabited that people and animals are practically tumbling out the upstairs windows. Sam and his wife, Micah, and their 3 kids, my husband, Wade, and I, and